Hello there. Well, hey, Heather, our content manager, arranged an interview with the developer of Trippy. I'm tripping. The developer of Tricky Bridge app, Scott Hoffer. Yeah, and Scott, wait a minute, dude. You look a little scared. Hey, there's no need to run away. Hey, our interview tactics, our interview tactics really just are not that scary. Or are they? We shall see.
There, you guys. It's a trick taking games, and we've been doing some. If you've noticed, last week and a half, we've been doing shorts on the basic rules of play modules from a free app that our friends and followers can download anytime called Tricky Bridge. So, guess what we got here near our dear newbies and novices? Today, we have the developer of Tricky Bridge, Mr. Scott Hoffer. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yay. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We would love to hear some history and background behind how you developed Tricky Bridge, this great app. So tell us what's going on. Us newbies and novices are all ears as to what we can also expect from this app.
Sure. So I have played bridge for about 30 years. I learned when I was 10 years old from my grandparents. And took to it right away. I found it sort of hard to learn. There was a lot of rules, it seemed like, but really loved it. And as I grew up, I became a video game developer professionally. I worked some big game companies that made sort of games with huge audiences, worked at a couple smaller companies. And once I had enough experience, I decided it was time to make my own app. And I really wanted it to be a bridge app partly because I wanted more of my friends to play bridge with me. I felt like I was the only person my age that seemed to be interested in the game because I was the only one that had learned it young. And I knew bridge needed something on the phone, something easy, something free, and something that would make bridge fun to learn. And so that was sort of the drive behind the idea originally.
Yeah, it is really fun to learn. Our followers really enjoy it, and it is simple because it's a very tricky game, bridge. So I love it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's bridge. I think traditionally is taught when it's sort of taught by teachers. It's taught in a classroom, and you have multiple days, multiple sessions to learn the basics, and so cramming all of that into an app was a big challenge, of course, because there is a lot to learn. The rules aren't that complicated, of course, but there's just a bunch you need to learn before bridge really clicks. Mm-hmm. And once it clicks, it's really fun. So we were trying to design the app so that it gets to the fun fast. And that's why it starts with the play.
I think I like that about your app, Scott, is that it is a fun app. I mean, I don't know who you were specifically gauging it for, the younger or just novices. In fact, I guess that's a question I put across when you were creating this app. Who was it supposed to be for?
Right. That's a good question. So it was for absolute beginners. It was really going to be the first app that was for people that knew nothing about bridge. Like they didn't come in with some prior knowledge. It was supposed to be for the total new, rank beginners. And we thought it was going to be just played by young people, like people under, say, 30, because we were making it more colorful and there were a lot of characters and, a lot of stuff that's just, you don't see really in bridge very often. Bridge can feel, when you see it online, it can feel sort of, serious and even a little dry, but we wanted to make it, something that had a lot of animation, a lot of good pacing. And what we found is that the audience for Tricky Bridge turned out to be very broad. I think 18 to 34 is maybe just barely our largest age group, but we have players, seniors, we have lots of players under 18. And it seems to appeal to all ages. So we were really surprised by the wide age range.
Nice.
And delighted. that it was working for pretty much everyone who was downloading it.
That's pretty neat. Now we're here on the domestic side. I'm just out of curiosity. I mean, before you kind of go into optimizing our newbies and novices on how to use this, is this domestic or is it also international?
So the development team is international. So to make the app, I had to put together a team, and a lot of the engineers, the software engineers who worked on Tricky Bridge, and a lot of the artists are from Armenia. There are engineers in Sweden. There was a couple in the United States, but mostly it was just me on this side of the pond. And so we were all remote, all working over Skype or Zoom together. And I guess in total there were, at one point, maybe 14 people worked on Tricky Bridge, because there were a lot of contract artists that sort of came in for a short period of time and just cranked out like all the card backs, the card faces, a lot of the animations. And then, whereas the engineers, the software developers were with it from the beginning to the end. Yeah.
Well, now,
and are still there.
Now, the people who are using the app, though, I mean, are they only here in the United States? That's what I mean by domestic. Or
I see. You're right. So USA is by far the biggest audience. It is international because it is available in just about all countries on the app stores. Probably, USA, Canada accounts for a huge percentage of the players who were downloading it. There's also a fairly high number in France and sort of spread throughout Western Europe. And then every so often, Apple will feature it in Russia, and then we'll get this burst of downloads from Russian players. But the app right now is only available in English. And so one of the things we really want to do in the future is localize it, which is to translate the app into other languages. French would definitely be one of them. And it's just, that's one of the sort of the next things coming up, is putting in the text so that we can start translating it into a lot of languages. Tricky Bridge has, launched in October 2020. It was featured by Apple, like right at the top of the App Store, which was really surprising because we thought we're this little app with this little team. And there are so many apps that are launched. We really didn't think Apple would notice, but we sent them a pitch. We said, we love Bridge. We're really passionate about teaching the game and making sure Bridge survives and has a whole new generation of players. And in classic Apple fashion, they did not respond. But the day that we launched the game, they put it right at the top of the App Store in the games page in the USA. We could not believe it. And so it had like 60 million impressions or something.
Wow.
Not that many downloads, because it's not easy to get a younger audience interested in learning Bridge, right? We have this great app, but really like convincing them that this is something that they would love is a whole nother ball game. And it's something else that we're working on.
Well, we can see the screen here, and I'm just a question here. Is this live? Can we do some stuff on this or what?
Sure. So
show it to us, Scott.
Okay. Okay. So this is the main menu of Tricky Bridge. So when you download it, basically the first thing that happens is it will ask you, have you ever played Bridge? And you can just say no, and it will send you right into learning. If you have played Bridge before, say you play all the time, you know all the rules, you can say that you know how to play, and it will put you into just playing Bridge. You can skip all of the lessons, but lessons are sort of the core aspect of the app, and the whole thing, learning. It's free. There's no ads that pop up.
Yeah, I love that. How did you guys get away with no ads? I love that.
I know it was. I thought, how are we going to do this and not, go bankrupt? The way to do it was, we knew that some players that downloaded Tricky Bridge, even though it's really for new Bridge players, some would be experienced players that are just checking out a new Bridge app. And so what we did was put in tournaments into the app, which is what the experienced players often love to play. And that is something that if you want to play a lot of tournaments, you can buy a subscription to play as many as you want.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And so it's really...
To interrupt just for a second, Scott. So as I was fooling around with it, I actually did, for some reason, they let me go in the tournament for free. They let me, for some reason, they let me go in. They let me play for a while, and then they said, no way, Jose, after that.
Right. Yeah, you can play 50 or something tournaments for free, and then eventually it will say, okay,
you're done.
Do you mind supporting the app with a purchase? And it does give you 10 deals every week. If you run out, you get 10 more deals. And I want to tweak that so that I want people to be able to play every day, even if they can't.
Yeah, that would be great. Because I look, as we see here, it says daily tournament. And so, so it knocked me out the first day, and I went back the next day, and it still said no.
Yeah, so right now the free deals are weekly. And so if you run out, you might end up waiting 7 days or however long it, wherever the cooldown timer is, before getting more free deals. And so I'd like to just, have a different approach so that players can have a daily habit without having to make a purchase. Because the people that play a lot, they will always make a purchase.
Oh, okay.
Right. They want unlimited access. They don't want to have any restriction on how much they can play.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like the app would go under if we did that.
No, I mean, because you're throwing out. I hate to put it, but almost like a teaser in the sense, I can play in a tournament. Oh, but I want to play more.
Right.
And so if I get the bug, then I'm going to purchase.
Yeah, that's the idea. And a lot of players do graduate from learning bridge into playing these tournaments because you're actually playing alone. You don't have to play with other humans. You're at a table with 3 robots. So in this case, you can see our cards, and we just skip. I know we were going to talk about the lessons. We sort of just jumped right into the tournaments. But while we're talking about it, this is a bridge table. We're sitting, we're in the bottom half of the screen. So we are holding our cards. There are 3 other players here, one on the left, one on the right, one at the top. And the one at the top is our partner. And when you play a tournament, the other 3 players are robots. They're AI. They're not human players. So you don't have to worry about being embarrassed if you make a mistake or you're not sure what a bid means or anything like that.
That's a good thing.
It's just you. And then at the end of the tournament, you can look and see sort of how other human players at their own tables played those same deals and see, I made 3 hearts on that deal, but they made 4. I wonder how they did it. You can go in and
I see. It'll show like maybe like a percentage or something like that. Or,
yes,
or
exactly.
What they bid, something like that.
Yes. So all of that is sort of recorded in a little leaderboard, and you can just go through and it aggregates it so that you can see, 50% of players bid 4 spades on this deal, and 20% bid 6 no trump. And so all of that is available, and a lot of the newer players love that because it really helps them learn, what would have been the right thing for me to do in this deal when I got really confused. Should I have passed? Should I have led that queen of diamonds? That kind of thing. You can look and see what other players did. And often you'll find that other players had the same trouble.
I like that. Let's change it from tricky bridge to easy bridge.
I know. I thought about it. Somebody actually suggested that name once. They're like, you're making the game sound hard when you say it's tricky bridge. And I thought, well, maybe you're right. Maybe we should call it simple bridge or not that hard to learn bridge.
How about this, Scott? For simpletons bridge.
Simpletons bridge. Well, there is a book, Bridge for Dummies.
Oh, yeah.
That does exist.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Don't forget Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn's book is Bridge Be Boring. It's a sardonic book because it's not.
Oh.
Yeah. You can look it up later, Scott.
Yeah.
I will. I like the title.
Yeah. That's our B. Okay.
Well, here we are, for the people, someday we'll get to all the tournament talk, and I'm excited for more players to get there. But this is the lesson map for the new players.
Awesome.
And as you mentioned, there are currently 57 available lessons, and the main thing to know is they're short. This is not meant to be a slog. It's not meant to be, like a long commitment to learning bridge. You can get through most of these in about an hour, in some cases. But a lot of people go back and replay lessons.
Actually, what I like about as the newbies and novices are looking at this, and I like to do is I played all 57, but I like forget stuff. I play those challenges. I just skip 3,
Yeah.
6, 8, 11. I go up and it kind of, oh, that's right. That's what that's supposed to be. I think that's brilliant
Yes.
that you did that.
Yeah, we worked a lot on getting the pacing right, between alternating lessons and challenges, because you want to make sure that you get to practice what you're learning and you're not just being told information without getting to, apply it.
Now this throws me off a little bit, because that last visual you gave to us shows all the lessons going up to 57. Doing the first 12 are the basics, which are fantastic. I know Heather just recently went through it, and my wife, who's been real hesitant about learning bridge, actually went through the first 12 lessons.
That's great.
And I'm talking, she went through the first 12 lessons in 2 days. And she got a good grasp on it. When we click on these lessons and it goes to where we're supposed to learn the lessons, like go ahead and click on whatever lesson you can somewhere along the line.
Just
here.
one of these. So if I click 17.
Yeah. And then we like his banter. But you see up there on the right hand, it says module 17. So it kind of confuses me that it says lesson, then it says module.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Yeah. There are lots of little things like that. Like there could be like little bugs or inconsistencies that have been on our list for a long time. It's, it's always down to the priorities, like fixing, obviously fixing a crash bug is the most important thing.
Yeah, I know. It's minutia. I just thought,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Those things bother me so much, and I see them every day, and I'm like, you've got to fix that. It's driving me crazy. And sometimes I just go by what I'm hearing the most from players. If I hear enough people say, please stop calling a lesson a module, I'm really confused, this game is confusing enough, then I'll probably be more likely to fix it right away. But yeah, that list is going to be, we're always going to have a list.
I like the cute little storylines with the bots, you giving them personalities and bots bantering, I like to call it. I like that you have that before the lessons. It kind of helps us out.
Yeah, we wanted to have this sort of lightweight narrative frame that just helped at least bring a new player in a little bit, give them a little bit of a sense of immersion. It didn't have to be, like a really deep, long story. And so there's a lot of silly jokes and stuff, but you can also skip all of it if you want. There is a skip button.
My wife was skipping, but I actually, through the first 12, I did go through it because it was kind of neat. And it kind of gave confidence to the people who are playing it, because it talks about, oh, hey, if Glenn gets better, then, maybe we'll be able to win this competition or something like that, and let's see how he goes. So it's kind of encouraging.
Yeah, it's the sort of main character, the tricky bot character, who's like an older bridge teacher robot. He's meant to be really a coach who's encouraging you.
Yeah.
And telling you reminding you, of course this is hard. Like certain parts of this are really hard, but you're going to get it. And when you get it right, I wanted a character to congratulate the player, because it feels better to have acknowledgement even by an animated character, because you're getting the developer's acknowledgement too, that you did accomplish something when you complete that really challenging lesson, or you got 10 tricks where there were only 10 available to win and you got all of them. It's good to have some affirmation, even just a little bit on the phone, I find.
That's, I think that's, well, what I'm hoping to do, just to kind of tease our newbies and novices, is maybe if you could go out of this one and go into 13.
Sure.
Because we've only done, we're on June 15th, they will finish 12.
Okay, great. Yeah, so here we are at 13. We're about to learn what is probably considered the scarier part of bridge, right? There's the play where you're playing to win tricks, and there's the bidding, which happens first, which is where the 4 players are going to compete for the right to name the trump suit for that deal. So is the trump suit going to be hearts, diamonds?
Go ahead for our newbies and novices. Explain to them, what is a trump suit?
Sure. So in bridge, it's a standard deck of cards. So there's 4 suits, and ostensibly they're all equal, right? The only thing is that when someone starts a trick with a card, say the 4 of hearts, on your turn, when it's your turn to play on that trick, you must follow suit if you can. So if someone starts a trick with a heart, and then when it's my turn to play, I have to play a heart if I have one. I can't play anything else. However, if I don't have any hearts left and I want to win the trick, I could play any card in the trump suit, which is sort of the power suit for that deal.
Power suit. I like that.
Yeah, and any suit can be trump, and the trump suit can change on every deal. It's determined in the bidding round that happens before the play of the tricks.
Which we're getting to. I love it.
Yeah, so, if you've ever played the game Spades,
yes,
Spades is always the trump suit in Spades. It beats every other suit, right? So when you can't win a trick by playing a high card, you can always, you can play one by, play a spade and you'll win the trick.
True.
So same thing in bridge. It's like, it's a trick-taking game that follows a lot of the same rules as all the others.
That's neat.
And yeah, so for example, for this one, for learning the bidding, we spent a long time on this section, on the sort of writing of it and the pacing of it, because it is a place where if we don't get that right, if we don't get the presentation, the text, the pace, the visuals right, I think it's a place where a lot of new players might get frustrated and leave.
Yes.
And
so this number 13 lesson is probably one of the most important lessons to launch people into it.
It is. It's a really important lesson because it sort of explains what the whole point of the bidding is. And then the rest of the bidding lessons are really about, okay, so here's how it works, and here's some sort of standard best practices for making good bids. But yeah, this lesson is really telling you what it's all about so that you can have that understanding of why it happens at all. Here he is saying that, we're going to bid what we want the trump suit to be, that power suit. So if we have lots of diamonds between us, we're definitely going to want diamonds to be the trump suit. So we're going to bid diamonds. We're going to make diamond bids, such as 1 diamond or 5 diamonds. You can bid all the way up to 7 diamonds, which means that you're promising to take all 13 tricks if diamonds is the trump suit.
Wow.
That's what a bid communicates. Yeah. I don't see a lot of those, really high, those 7 level bids very much, but it's really fun and scary to bid one when it does happen, because you can't lose any tricks.
That's gutsy.
If you bid it. Yeah, it is gutsy. Yeah, it can take a little while to get to that point where you're like, okay, I'm confident enough. I can make this.
Wow.
This really
I have to
bid.
admit, I'm too new to the game that I have never made that type of bid.
Yeah. No, I've played for a long time, and I still hardly ever bid that high. Sometimes I'll get all the way up to 6, which means I'm allowed to lose 1 trick.
Wow.
And I'll think, okay, that's high enough. I can't go all over. No, it takes a lot of guts sometimes to bid all the tricks that you can make.
Oh yeah. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So I think, the app is designed so that if you go through a lesson and you think, okay, I think I get it, but maybe one more time, you can always go back and play it again. And there is a practice mode in this sort of lesson map. Once you're through enough lessons that you've learned the basic rules, you can always tap the practice button, and it will just deal a bridge for you to play with 3 robots. It's totally free. You can play as many as you want.
Does that rotate that practice section in the sense of the deals? Are they pretty much always the same, or is there are there different deals according to where you are in the lesson plan or something? Or
so that's actually a good observation. If you're near the beginning of the lesson plan, like below level lesson 20, it may, and you haven't learned the bidding yet. Practice mode will not include bidding. It will just be playing tricks. Okay. If you have learned the bidding, practice mode will be bidding and play. It would be like playing full bridge. So after lesson 20, once you've completed that lesson, practice mode is just full bridge.
Nice.
You're playing full bridge with 3 robots.
But it's giving you suggestions and stuff like that along the way, I take it.
Yes, there is a hint button in the practice mode for bidding. So if you're like really stuck and you want to just see what the robots would bid, they can tell you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and so there, there's a lot of stuff in the app that is there for players to discover, and where the app is growing slowly over time and getting more and more players. We've taught 2 million bridge lessons now.
Wow.
Yep, to about 100,000 new players.
So Scott, we're going to see how good you are. We want you to play this.
Oh boy, this hand?
Yes.
I don't know. Oh my God. I haven't even been reading what it's been saying. How am I going to do this?
Well, you wrote the app. You should know for now.
I did write this app. I should probably know what's in it.
Now we're gonna see him put to the test. we can always edit this out later if you were not successful.
I know you come back. I'm sweating. I'm trying over and over again. I can't get it right.
Okay, this will be the 10th try, Scott.
Yeah. You have to edit out the hour that I spent trying this lesson over and over again.
Yelling at your app, and I gotta redo this. I gotta restart.
Yeah.
This is tricky. It's not easy.
I know. It turned out to be harder than I thought. Why am I wearing this T-shirt? This game is too hard. No.
It's it's amazing, and it is. It really does. I mean, again, Glenn's motto is redundancy is retention. Is that what it is?
Yeah, redundancy equals retention. Exactly.
Yeah, and so it's so nice because Glenn is trying so hard to teach us newbies and novices, and your app is an amazing tool to be able to get in there, play, and like you said, not feel self-conscious if you're not doing great, and checking in with others. But it's another wonderful tool for our followers. But we're getting it done there, Mr. Scott.
I appreciate it.
We'll try.
Yeah, and yeah, if you love trick-taking games, Bridge is sort of the queen of the trick-taking games, and
it is
definitely worth a try because there's nothing to lose. Free app. It's just to download it off either of the app stores and
so
give it a try.
If Bridge is the queen, who's the king?
I don't know. Is there a king? Is there a king of trick-taking games?
I don't know.
Maybe Euchre.
Maybe
Euchre
what?
Sounds like.
Oh yeah, Euchre.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've never played it. No.
Euchre is actually probably one of the closest games to Bridge. It's just
it
doesn't use all the cards.
Oh, it uses all the cards?
No, Euchre doesn't. But yeah, Bridge is sort of based off of the Whist and then Auction Bridge, and then the modern version is Contract Bridge.
Oh, okay.
That's what this is. But Euchre has, I think, a smaller deck and a simpler bidding system. But it's also
I may have to check that out.
But this Bridge is sort of if you ever want the sort of full version of a really deep trick-taking card game, that's what Bridge is all about. You'll always get better your whole life. You'll keep playing and always be improving. It's one of the great things about the game.
Oh,
that's a great game.
Very nice. Okay. You got to stop him here, Scott.
Okay, so
oh gosh. Right now, I'm like just tapping through text, and the viewer's like, "What are we reading? What is this? What is
no problem. We'll go through it later. We'll show them and stop it and edit and talk and stuff and narrate.
Okay.
That's our thing. That's our thing.
Okay. Well, yes. Thank you. Are you still with that? Well, thank you, Scott Hoffer. Wait, got more. Wait, there's more.
Wait a minute, you went through that. What happened?
I stopped. I thought you said you were going to go through it, and so I'll spare the audience me tapping through it. We can look at I'll show you what a full deal looks like, though, because you see this practice button on the bottom left.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I like that. And let's go through one hand together.
Yeah, this might be more fun to watch because there's less text popping up.
That's true.
And you can always play the lessons, but this is what a deal of Bridge looks like. It starts with you get your cards, your 13 cards. You cannot look at anyone else's cards, including your partner's. They're across the table from you.
Mm-hmm.
And we start with the bidding. So in this case, at the top there, it says pass, that green pass card. That's our partner's first bid. They decided to pass, which means...
they chickened out, man.
Yeah, they probably don't have a very good hand. They probably don't have a lot of aces.
That's true.
Or a lot of, kings or queens. However, the player to our right opened with a very big bid, which is 2 no trump.
Wow.
Which means they have a very good hand, and they're announcing it so that their partner can know, okay, they've got a great hand of cards. They probably got a lot of aces and kings, and then together they can use their bids to figure out what is the ultimate number of tricks they can take and in what trump suit.
Okay.
Right. So they're going to go back and forth now. And meanwhile, my partner and I are going to be passing because we don't have the good cards. So in this case, I'm going to pass to say, sorry, partner. I wish I could come in with a big bid, but I can't bid anything.
Oh.
All right. So West responded with 3 no trump, right? So when you bid, you must bid higher than the last bid.
Oh, that was the lesson that we were just looking at.
Yeah.
Before we skipped over to, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So East, the player on the right, bid 2 no trump. I passed. West raised to 3 no trump because West has a few high cards, but probably not that many, but they can push it up a little higher. And so that's going to be it. East is saying, okay, pass. Like 3 no trump sounds great. Let's play there and see if we can make it. We probably can. I'm going to pass, and that's going to be the end of the bidding. The bidding ends when everyone passes in a row.
Okay.
3 passes in a row. So 3 no trump. That means that the East player, which is the player to our right, is going to try to make 3 tricks plus 6. You always add 6 to the number in your bid, and that's the number of tricks your team is going to have to win on this deal in order to win the deal.
So they got to get 9 tricks.
They got to get 9 tricks or more. They can always win more. There's no bonus for getting exactly the number that you bid.
Hey, maybe that's something they should change in bridge in the future.
I don't know. It turns out the scoring system, it makes it, I don't know. I think it's pretty fun once you get into it.
Oh,
it is really fun.
We're just starting to get to that point in our lessons. Yeah,
the scoring takes a little while to learn, but once you know it, the game just gets. I mean, it just becomes so much more fun than it was already because it adds a lot of strategy to it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
All right, so East led a queen of diamonds, which we have to follow suit, right? The rule is we have to play a card in the suit that started the trick.
Yeah.
And we can't win this trick. We only have the 8 and the 7.
Oh.
So we're just going to play one of them.
Yay,
Partner
we got one.
Won, though. Partner had the king.
Oh, he's sneaky.
Yeah. And look, what do we do here?
Looks like to me we can take this baby.
We can. We have the king. It's gonna be worth it because we're gonna get to beat that queen.
I like that.
All right. So now we have like one of the first really tough decisions that's always tough in bridge. What card do we lead back to our partner? What do we start this trick with? Should we play another heart? Should we, play something in close? And by the way, of course, you can see that the player on the left has all of their cards visible.
Yeah.
That's because they're the dummy. Every deal of bridge, after the bidding, one player is required to show their entire deal on the table, and their hand is then controlled by their partner.
So the other partner becomes mute at this point.
Yes. Yeah. The dummy does not participate anymore. They just they dutifully play whatever card their partner tells them to.
Yeah. We call this in trick-taking games, and because we didn't like the word dummy, so we call them the silent partner.
Oh, that's a good idea. They are silent.
Yeah.
They are not supposed to say anything.
We just wanted to be a little more diplomatic. Hope your partner.
I think they had no hearts left. So in that case, you saw a partner played a club.
Yeah.
That was because they couldn't follow suit. They didn't have any hearts left.
Hey, how about that?
Looks like we're going to win this one.
Nice.
And I haven't been paying very.
I don't know. Hopefully, your partner's got something good there. We've been distracting you.
We've been a little distracted. I have no memory of what cards have been played so far.
Well, this is about how I normally play, so I'm good there.
Yeah, they're going to drop our jack here. So in, over time, what happens when you play a lot of bridge is you do start counting the suit. You start counting, okay, I know that like 5 spades have been played, but that is not something you need to be able to do
At first.
to enjoy playing bridge. Yeah, no,
we're
ever.
No, that's good. That we're just sort of enjoying it, and that's something that we've touted quite a bit, is just to people to have fun while they're playing bridge. They don't have to break a bunch of blood vessels in their brains to play if they don't really feel like it.
No, bridge was, remember, like a few decades ago, bridge was just how people hung out.
Yeah.
Right. It's super social, and people talked and laughed, and they just played bridge, and like nobody was playing well. Nobody was like concentrating on the cards and like trying really hard to win all the, it was just a great, really fun way to spend time together. And it turns out it's also an excellent strategy game if you want to take it really seriously, but you don't have to for it to be really fun.
And I think that's actually a key point that you bring up there, Scott, that people can have fun with it. Just like you said, when it first started, it was considered social. Why not make it to where it can be social if you want it to be social? If you want to be a tournament player, then God bless you. Yeah,
exactly. It's such a great way to spend time with friends, and it's all, the tournaments are always there if you want to play in them, if you want to challenge yourself to get more serious about it. But there's also different levels, newcomer tournaments if you want to just try it out, but you can always just play socially. It's a ton of fun, and that's what most bridge players are. They're social players.
Now don't go out of the screen yet, because one thing I love about this I've gone into before was like, I go, wow, I really did pretty lousy that time. I wonder if I could try that again.
Yes, and that is why we've got the button on the bottom, play hand again. You can also watch the replay if you want to just see how things went down, if you want to have that. And by the way, there's also that red button, which is where if you are unhappy with the way that the robots bid, you can press that and it will tell us that there might be a
I guess in the sense of the people who are obviously much more proficient in bridge, they go, nobody would have ever done that.
Exactly. Yeah, we get lots of emails with helpful feedback from our players.
I like the way you said that, helpful. Is it helpful or is it hurtful? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, no, it can be a little overwhelming because there's always, bridge is the only game left in the world where the best AI cannot defeat the best humans at the table. And so the AI is very hard to program.
Yes.
And I certainly didn't do it myself. This was, from another developer that worked on Bridge AI for decades.
Wow.
But it does mean that there's lots of things, the bots might make a bad bid here and there. And so we wanted players to be able to report it. And they do. They do report it. And then we try to fix everything that was wrong.
Do me a favor. Do play hand again.
Sure.
And just see if we could have a little bit of different outcome, or maybe different bidding or something like that. Because this is the thing that I find kind of cool about it. I don't know if there's anything different we could have done here, especially in the bidding portion.
I probably could have, if I were paying better attention, I probably would have led some better cards when it was my turn to lead. But in this case, I'm pretty sure the bidding would not go any different.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be a little bit silent as you're playing this. And let the people get your thought process. And you can talk about it as you're doing it.
Okay, sure. So in my case, we're on the defense because East and West, the players on the left and right, did all the bidding. And so they're on the offense. And so our goal is to stop them from winning at least 9 tricks. It's a no trump contract, which means there's no trump suit. All the suits are equal. If you can't follow suit, you cannot win the trick. So you can't play a trump card to win because there's no trump. So my first thought here is I don't have a lot of information from the bidding about what cards my partner has. I would like to lead the suit that we have the highest number of combined cards in. My longest suit is obviously hearts. And normally when the players opposite us are playing no trump, they might have short spades and short hearts. So I'm going to start with a heart. That's my first thought. And I'm going to conventionally lead the fourth highest from my longest and strongest suit. This is not something you have to do.
Yeah.
This is just something that's sort of a best practice, but that's the thought that would be in my head is let's lead our longest suit. Let's lead a low card to tell partner that we have higher cards available and just see what they do. All right. So in this case, I'm counting the number of cards that the silent player has on the left. So I have 5 cards. They have 3. Partner. I'm hoping partner has a certain number. And all right, East is leading a diamond. They probably have length in diamonds. They're going to play diamonds until we run out of diamonds and can't stop them. So there's not much I can do here. I'm just going to watch to see what cards my partner is playing. Okay, now they switched to spades. I can't win this. I have to play the last diamond I have. Okay, partner wins, and then I think switch is here. Right, so partner's playing our suit back to us. And so my thought now is, did partner just play their last heart? Or could I keep, like after I win this trick, could I keep playing hearts and would we win another one? So I might be trying to do, some scenarios in my head, like could partner have 2 more hearts? Could they have 1? And I think this is a mistake ultimately, but I would probably just do what I did before, which is lead another heart and hoping to drop, hoping that the opponents run out. It turns out it was my partner who ran out. And if I'd been paying really close attention, maybe I would have figured that out. All right, now I'm in a bind because now I have to discard. I can't follow suit, so I have to throw a card away. I don't want to throw away that ace of clubs because I'm hoping that wins a trick later. So I'm going to throw away. I don't think I'm going to win a card with this, but I might later if I won the ace of clubs and I played another heart. Now I'm in trouble because have I been counting number of hearts? How many hearts does the East player have left? Are they going to be able to beat my 7 of hearts or is it a winner? Yikes. Does anyone remember?
I would say play it.
All right, if I play it.
Yay!
So that means that when I discarded on the last trick, I should not have discarded a heart. I should have kept it because it would have been another winner. Yeah. So once again, I have, because I'm talking, I'm barely, okay, let's play a club. They're going to win, but we dropped that. Yeah, they have high cards. We are going to win this, though.
Woo! Hey, we got him. We got him.
We ended up defeating them.
Yay!
We won. We should have won one more trick. So you see, and now, so here's what I'm looking at right away is those hearts. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing that West had 3, East had 3, and North, my partner had 2. I had 5. Once we've played 3 rounds of hearts, everyone but me is out. That means that if I can get the lead and play a heart, it will automatically win. Which should have been.
Which is why when you got that ace of clubs, and then you mentioned because you had a 7 and 2 and you got rid of the 2 earlier, that's why you're saying you could have got an extra trick.
That's exactly right. If I had kept that 2 and maybe discarded a spade instead, or discarded a club, if I think that was what the case was at the time, then I could have led the 7 of hearts. It would win, and then I would have led the 2 of hearts, and that little 2 of hearts would be unbeatable because no one else had any hearts left. It's really fun to win the critical trick with the lowest possible card.
That's kind of a slap in the face to your opponent. Look at this. Here's a 2 of spade, 2 of hearts.
Yeah, beat this. It's the smallest card in the deck. Yeah. No, but that's how bridge works. So
I love it. So this is I'd like you kind of wrap up this app in the sense of what suggestions you would like to give to our newbies and novices as they're using this app, and also give us a little future sneak peek.
Sure. So the app is designed to really let you play at your own pace. I would say just download it and give it a try. You don't have to, play through all the lessons in one day, but make sure that once you've played a bunch of lessons, if you want to practice, hit that practice button and just play whenever you want. It's it's an app. It's designed to be something that you can just pick up and put down again, that matches your schedule. So just, give it a try and play some lessons and see if it's like feeling fun for you. And then when you're ready, go in and try the tournaments, or, just a few, so you can see the leaderboards and see if that is fun for you too. In terms of what's coming up, we get a lot of requests for multiplayer. So we're thinking about how we're going to put that in. Lots of requests for new lessons. Mm-hmm. So we are at lesson 57. We want to get to lesson 100. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. But and some of them are, written, but we have to, get the software engineers in and code it and put in the art. Yeah. So there's a lot of production involved in every new group of lessons, but that's definitely on the list. And then we are talking with other bridge teachers who write bridge puzzles, which are basically like, here's a deal. See if you can win 10 tricks with it. And they're really, really fun. They have explanations that come with them to explain like the puzzle solution, like here's how you win 10 tricks on this deal. And I love bridge puzzles. They're really fun. So I'm thinking about working with one of the, puzzle writers to have their content in Tricky Bridge, so that it's just another way of practicing and
do you think that
getting better at bridge.
Scott, do you think that will be the next new launch? Or what do you think?
No, I think, probably one of the next new launches might be just like getting another language in there. Translating it, because we really want to do that. And then puzzles will probably be a little later. More lessons might be right after that.
You mean after you mean after the puzzles?
Probably because we do want to test the puzzles, like put them in and see, do people really like it? If they do, then we know that we want to make sure we're developing more of them.
No, now the puzzles. I don't think I've ever even dealt with that, and I don't know if any of our followers have as well. Is there some place that we can sort of see what that's about?
Yeah, there are other websites like BridgeB that have, like, you can try out some lesson content. Of course, the big bridge website is BridgeBase, and they have a mode that is basically, I think it's like Bridge Mastery or something like that. I can't remember what the mode is called, but if you click around, you'll see it. It's different levels of puzzles, like see if you can win enough tricks on this deal or this deal, and they have explanations. So BridgeBase has them, BridgeB, and there's a few others, but and I'll when I think of them, I'll send you the links. But yeah,
please, that would be great. Actually, we'll forward it out. That's for sure.
Sure.
And so we're looking at languages first, puzzles, and then it looks like lessons / modules.
Yes. Oh gosh, and fixing the lesson module. Inconsistency.
Never. I think Tricky Bridge is the right way to label your app. No, but it's awesome. It's like so much to learn. It's I don't know. Anyway, I'm impressed.
Heather, did you get a lot out of this? I mean, no, because it's like, just your view, Heather.
Yeah, no, I did. It's well, I think what I got out was I admire the heck out of Scott Hoffer for developing this. But yes.
Oh, wait a minute, stop there for a second.
Yes, sir.
What are these block of card things? This I never I get it. I was obtaining these things, but I have no idea even what they do.
Sure. This is just a collection of card backs. So it's a way of customizing the look of your game. So if you wanted to play with, this one, the Gold Spades card back, you can acquire the pieces for it just by playing bridge and then put it together, and now you can use it.
Oh, so we can use that as our cards.
Yes, you use it as your cards. And those are the card backs. And if you tap at the top here, it says card faces. There are different themes that you can unlock. Yeah, there's this one, and there's this kind of neon one. I think there's a Broadway one. There's the subway. This is a very New York themed.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, very New York.
I was wondering because I was getting it and I was going, oh, what do I do with these things?
Yeah, no, they're purely cosmetic. There's also different table colors.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And some of them you unlock through achievements. This is, you probably play other games that, like video games that have achievements or badges that you can win by doing certain things. And so all of ours, of course, are bridge related. The top one is, make a contract where in this case, the silent partner wins all the tricks. Yeah. Some of them are things that you don't want to have happen, but they do happen, like losing a contract. That's an achievement the first time you do it.
Hey, at least you get something for it.
You do get something, and some of them unlock special. Some of them unlock special card backs or card faces that you can't get any other way. Some of these are for the very hardcore like players who play a lot. So 10,000 tournament deals, you'll get the Gladiator card back, and there's no other way to get it.
10,000 tournament deals. I mean, we play 24 hours a day to get.
I know it's like
some people play a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honey, I'll see you in a month.
Yeah.
By the way, could you sign the divorce papers before you leave?
Well, they say don't play bridge with your spouse sometimes. There's players that are, just love bridge a lot, and so they play a lot.
I can see that. That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
on this account,
new app, Just Love Bridge, a lot.
Yeah. No, it's fun that's one of the things that when you go to the tournaments that you find is that that's where you'll see people wearing like bridge hats and like have bridge pins and bridge handbags and all sorts of things. It's great. It's great to see players who are that enthusiastic. They really love it.
That's pretty neat.
And all their friends, like that too. Yeah.
That's it. Well, your app really does make it fun to learn bridge, and like my wife didn't want to touch it at all, and so that's why I mentioned in the sense that she went through yours and she learned it, and then yesterday we were just sitting on the porch and I brought out your practice thing and I just had her and I playing hands together on it, and she was getting it. She was getting it,
That's great.
So, and because we're told bridge is hard. Bridge is hard. Bridge is hard. This is what we're told at all times. And it's like, it can be fun too. And I think that's what you put into it, Scott. And hey, when your fun little launches are going to happen, please tell us. And if you'd like to share it with our audience, we'd love to bring it back if that would be good with you.
Absolutely. I really appreciate the chance to share Tricky Bridge with your audience, and I invite everyone to give it a try. And it was great to talk and to play with you.
And by the way, bridge, as Glenn teaches through our trick-taking games, it does bring people together, and it's a great game. I just see the way it's our people, our students, how they've grown, and so much fun to bring people together and to learn. And your app is amazing.
That's great. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's a great community to be a part of socially. And if you want to play it seriously, competitively, it's also terrific. Mm-hmm. So I hope everyone gives it a try and sees it. If it's for them, it's fun. Give it a try.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Scott. We really appreciate it. Right, Heather?
Scott Hoffer here, man. For Tricky Bridge app, you guys download it. It's for free, and it will help you learn more and more. This is what our goal is, and wonderful. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you both so much. It's been a pleasure. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We would like to throw out some acknowledgments regarding that Tricky Bridge app that Scott took us through. Hello, Glenn. This is a blank page. Where's the acknowledgments? Oh, okay, my bad. The entity behind Tricky Bridge app that we've all been enjoying was brought to us by Forklift Studios, where Scott Hoffer is the founder. So Scott is wearing the developer and founder hat regarding Tricky Bridge. Also, it takes a village, not a village idiot like me, to bring these apps to fruition. And the ACBL, yeah, they put forth, they granted some moolah to help make Tricky Bridge a reality. And as Heather, our content manager, pointed out, hey, it's free to download. It's all unbiased. You can use your Droid or your iPhone or use both to download the app. And no ads. I don't know about you, but those free games usually are inundated with constant barrage of commercials. It's a wonderful amenity and relief to be rid of those ads. Well, hope you enjoyed today's interview. Click the like button and please subscribe on the way out. It really helps the channel. Thank you so much, and